What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 1,000 Pound Sisters episode. And this one is season 1, episode 3. Oh man, we are on the roll right now. We are realistically on a roll. But anyway, with that being said though, let's not waste too much more time. In the first 2 episodes, we've definitely had some encounters. And in episode 2, we definitely experienced our first ever Tammy hiss fit, obviously on the show. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, her hiss fit was far from different from the ones that we've experienced in season 2 and season 3, if you know what I mean. Because at the end of the day, when things ain't going right for Tammy, she's ready to be like, F this, F this, F that, F this, F that. You know what the fuck, bitch? You know. Anyway, let's give a shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, and let's get into this recap.
Why is she not talking? It's very frustrating to be stuck in a vehicle with Michael and Amy, but because of my size, if I want to storm away from my sister because I'm ticked off at her, I can't.
Don't you just love it? Just choosing to be ticked off your sister. Oh man, you know, the day Tammy is ever going to be happy, like actually happy, boy. Sorry, I was just the reason why I went quiet for a hot second is because I realized that no matter how long we wait, that day just isn't gonna come, is it? Simply because, well, it's just a waiting game now, isn't it? And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It is a waiting game. Yikes.
I was already kind of leaned over and then I went the rest of the way.
When Tammy's throwing a fit and upset and stuff, we don't sit there and talk our feelings out. Like, we move past it.
And listen, we've always known that when it comes to the sisters or just the family itself in particular, when they go through something, they never talk it out. They just have an argument about it. And that's something that obviously we've grown to see more and more. Obviously, as they've added more siblings to the show. And also at the same time, we know that's, well, at least I've always assumed that's also another part that is so conflicting to Tammy, because she just wants to be heard, but she believes that she's not being heard. And the matter of fact is, it doesn't even matter. I don't think it matters even if the family wanted to hear her. I think it's a matter where she still feels like she's not going to be heard because the family doesn't know how to respond, you know? Like, the initial thing with the family is just argue about it, you know? Well, like, folks, look at it this way. Look at it this way. When it comes to Amy and Tammy, if they have a whole hissy fit, if they have a conflict, right? Tammy will say something, Amy will say something. Tammy will then blow up. Amy will then just be like, she'll just go quiet. And then she just move on to it as if it didn't happen, because that's what Amy knows. That's how she's obviously raised herself and was raised, just to be like, I guess when it gets that deep, I'll just not say anything. But then when you look at Amanda now, for example, we saw that with her take is different. If Tammy's going at it with her, she'll go at it with her too. Do you know what I mean? Misty, to be fair, seems to avoid going at it with Tammy most of the time. She seems to try and say certain things in a certain way that isn't necessarily going to be triggering in some kind of format. So that's her kind of thing. Chris, on the other hand, he just doesn't want to argue. Like, if you give it to him, he's going to give it back and be like, that's it, I'm done with it, I'm out. Okay? Is there another sibling that I missed out here? I don't think there is, no. And then you got the mum. Well, the mum, just no comment. The point is this, is that they all have different coping mechanisms of how they handle each other when it comes to arguments, and they all have different ones, obviously, when it comes to Tammy specifically. But obviously, because Tammy and Amy have always been together the most, Tammy is used to Amy's attitude of, we'll just ignore it, act as if it didn't happen, which is bad, because that's why Tammy will always feel entitled. That's why she always feel like she can say what she says and get away with it, because Amy's kind of always been like that, to always allowed her to get away with whatever she wants to say, and then they moved on. And then that's why, but Amanda doesn't like that, Missy doesn't do that, Chris doesn't do that, you know what I mean? But at the same time though, it isn't Amy's fault, because let me remind you, Amy is a year younger than Tammy. Tammy is the older sister. You see what I'm saying? So to be honest with you, it should be Tammy bit taking that role, if anything. But the fact is, though, these two girls wasn't raised by their mother per se, because their mother was always off working and whatnot, and they were raised by their grandma. But then their grandma died when they were like 10 and 11. So throughout their teenage years and whatnot, they just had each other, and obviously the other siblings here and there. Because the matter of fact is, Amy and Tammy are full siblings. The rest of them are half siblings to them. Boy, you know what? Their life obviously has been one hell of a journey, and it's just sad because you watching season 1, they've been unable to. We're watching season 1 now. We're seeing how they handle arguments. You watch season 3, it's the same thing. Even at the table when Tammy and Amanda were going on, Amy was just like, "I'm just looking to get past this," because that's what she knows. And the fact is, how is that ever going to change? Will it ever change? Probably not. So to be honest with you, Amy being around Tammy is just as bad as Tammy being around Amy, because the fact is they don't know how to really communicate with one another, how to really open up with one another. Because the fact is, if Amy, you know what, I think it's more the case of that Tammy is the issue in the situation, more or less, because she's the one who can't handle the conversations. She's the one that blows up if the conversation doesn't go her direction. Amy is so much more open-minded, but at the same time, Amy's also easy to just roll over and be like, okay, you win. Which probably reflects to why Amy ended up marrying a guy who won't argue with her, because she can never marry an alpha, because an alpha will be too, he probably remind a bit too much of Tammy in a weird way. That's why she probably goes for a beta guy or a soy guy, because she's able to say what she wants and then he'll do what she wants. You see what I'm saying? It fits the profile. Interesting. In case you didn't know, Tammy's husband is brothers with Amanda's husband as well. I wonder if he's the same. Anyway, that was an interesting take. Yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed that breakdown. Me, myself in particular. Let's get it.
Open. So we go to the hotel pool and there's stairs. There's no way I can do that. Michael, can you roll me over there? I lose balance when I put weight on my knees, so I don't think I would have made it. Once again, Amy and Mike are off doing their own thing, and I'm stuck just sitting here.
So here's the thing, right? Obviously there's stairs. Tammy's got a walker. So of course, it's going to be an obstacle for her to get down the stairs, obviously with the walker, right? Which is quite interesting, because I would have thought they would have had 2 options of someone be able to walk down the stairs and also have like a little side part where they can obviously go by it, but obviously that wasn't there. Now obviously Tammy expresses that she loves to express that going down those stairs just isn't applicable to herself, because she'd feel too much pain within her knees. Now of course that is probably true because of the side that she's at. She's over 600 pounds, right? But at the same time though, the problem with Tammy has always been that she never wants to try. If she just at least tried to walk down those stairs with the assistance of Michael and Amy, she probably could have got down it, because let's be honest, I think it was about 4 stairs, and to be honest with you, at the same time, she had 2 people that helping her. But let's not forget, she's actually got 3 things helping her. 1, Michael, 2, Amy, and 3, the little bar, the railing, the bar on the side of the wall. So to be honest, she would have had great assistance going down those stairs, which would have released some pain. It might have been minimal, but it would have been some pain off of her knees anyway, and therefore she would have been able to go into the pool. But you know how Tammy works. Tammy's like, no, I can't do it, it's too much pain, and then decides to have a dig that Michael and Amy are actually able to go off and do their own thing, which isn't necessarily, which wasn't the agenda. Amy remember in episode 1, they went to the park. Tammy decided that she didn't want to walk, so therefore she was left in a wheelchair, and Michael and Amy went on for a walk. Of course, why not? That was the idea. They've gone to the swimming pool. Tammy's found a reason why she can't go in there. So of course, Amy and Michael are obviously going to go in there and do their own thing. But the fact is though, Tammy makes it seem as if when they go to these places, it was Amy and Michael's intention to leave her behind, when it never wasn't. It was the intentions to go and complete the goal of going to wherever they went to. And this is the problem. Tammy will always say, Amy's the one doing this, Amy's the one doing this. And to be honest with you, I think these are the parts where Amy is at her strongest, when she will still go and do that objective. Because her doing that is perfect for her. But at the same time though, that's also the build up of season 1 all the way to now season 3 of, obviously how I made the video about in season 3, you saw the distance becoming bigger and bigger between Amy and Tammy. You know, obviously Amy and obviously had Gage. Obviously they bought in the nanny. Amy then bought a house. All of that stuff was just pushing Tammy far, far, far away, right? But obviously it was pushing her far away in terms of a negative mindset, thinking that, oh, I'm being left behind. Everybody's succeeding in life, but I ain't doing nothing. I'm still in the same place. Hence the reason why she ended up doing the whole drinking, you know, all that stuff, talking about living in her 20s, but she didn't get a chance to, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But the fact is, you're looking at it now in season 1, the events were already there because she was moaning straight off the bat. As soon as Amy was starting to do things that she couldn't do or she didn't want to do, to be more accurate, she was like, oh, there you go. Amy's leaving me behind again. But this is the problem, you know. Tammy expects Amy to always be there all the time, which is so sad because the fact is this. Tammy needs to leave Amy alone and Amy needs to run away from Tammy. Point blank period.
It kind of hurt me because I couldn't console her. Like, Tammy thinks I don't understand, but I do. I know what it's like to not be included in stuff because of my weight. It sucks.
But here's the thing though. Tammy doesn't give a flying fuck. She doesn't give a damn whether or not Amy understands, because she wants to live in a world where she believes that Amy doesn't understand. Because all she wants to do is just seek negativity towards Amy. That's all it is. It's just so sad. So sad. She loves, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Does Tammy love Amy? Absolutely. I absolutely get that. She does. But the fact is though, there is a love that you can have for someone that means you want to see them blossom. But then there's a love you have for someone that you want to see them stay where you are because it makes you feel better. Which is something that I like to call toxic love. Okay? Come on now. Self-centered love. Capricorn love. Wait for the Capricorns to come for me now.
I know that this was great exercise for me. Hopefully when we get back home, we can find a pool that Tammy can actually swim with us in. This will be really great for both of us to lose weight.
You know, so Amy even thinks about an alternative for Tammy. But we already know that when it comes to an alternative, Tammy's just going to throw it. She's just going to... Get my words out of my mouth, man. She's just going to slap it back into Amy's face. And that's just the grand scheme of things, isn't it? It's just incredible, like, going back. Well, I mean, I say going back. Obviously, I didn't even see season 1. But going back to season 1, knowing what we know now, it's just incredible to see, you know, just the loopholes that are already there at the very beginning anyway, okay? Because obviously before the show, everybody used to watch them on YouTube and just see the two sisters, you know, doing whatever they wanted to do, whether it be makeup, eating food, you know, the whole simple clowning and whatnot. But then seeing them like this, it's like, damn. And then seeing where they are now, man.
The point is that I couldn't get in the pool. But I'm not going to let it discourage me. I'm going to continue moving forward. 6 months from now, I hope that I'm making it into a pool.
What happens if you don't?
There's no happen. I will.
Well, I mean, it's been I can't ever keep a straight face. Come on, man. This is pathetic. Well, listen, she said 6 months from now. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, my clock is telling me, well, I haven't got a clock in my hand, but anyway, my clock is telling me that. But it's been 3 seasons and... You know, sometimes you just got to look at this at a less frustrated side. Ugh. I could watch this and just be like, oh my God, it's Tammy. We all know that doesn't happen, and just give you a whole frustration. But you know what? Though, why be frustrated when we know they're inevitable? I'd rather just laugh about it and be like, well, you said 6 months back then, but 3 years later, that 6 months never came. You know what I mean? I'd rather just laugh about the situation because it's become a laughing matter now. Because the fact is, nobody takes Tammy seriously at all. I mean, there's a lot of people that still have faith and hope that she will turn things around, you know, and it's good that people have that because it means that you're a good person and you're not dark. Because I know there's a lot of people out here who just like, listen, I'm just waiting for her to pass. I'm just waiting for it just to go. But at the same time, though, that doesn't necessarily mean that's coming from a dark place or horrible place. It could also mean it's coming from a place of like, you've shown us nothing but disappointment, so you might as well just let us know when you're clocking out. You know, and that's just people living in a reality of what we've been, of what we've experienced from Tammy Slaton. Do you see what I'm saying? But at the same time, there is also the flip side, which we can call slightly less reality side, and that is the miracle side of things, hoping that she will turn things around. And it's so sad to sit here and say, hopefully a miracle will help this person turn their life around, because that's how deep it's got now. Do you know what I mean? But that's why I can't, that's why sometimes I just gotta laugh. Not because I'm laughing at her, it's just like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Hey, let's get it, man.
Because getting me and Tammy approved for surgery, it's going to be the hardest thing we've ever done. I feel responsible for my sister. I'm super focused on losing my weight, but I'm going to have to help her too.
My apologies, I forgot my green screen wasn't set up, but I was about to just show you how I was feeling when Amy was saying what she was saying. Damn. Anyway, the matter of fact is this. Amy, you're not responsible for Tammy Slaton. Simple as that. We know why Amy feels like she is, but someone really needs to tell her, like, today, she needs to stop being responsible. Especially now she's got 2 kids, well, at least one child and one on the way. That's the grand scheme of things.
Really?
That guy looks like a drumstick.
You hungry?
Well, it does.
Tammy?
Yeah.
Amy won't get rid of Michael's sodas. That bothers me because I live with them, so that means I'm gonna be around it too. And I know they're not just for Michael, but it's just to cover it because she inside wants it too.
Ooh, deja vu of Vanessa. And I say that because in 1,000 Pound Best Friends, Vanessa's always talking about how it's hard for her to diet when she lives in a household of a sibling that is 100% a sabotager. That's for sure. But at the same time though, because obviously the rest of the family is unhealthy, she says it's hard for her to obviously, you know, eat healthy too. And therefore, sister then calls it a BICTH whenever she gets hungry. And the reason I bring that up is because I've always compared, or recently have been comparing Vanessa to Tammy. And here's the thing, Tammy in this situation here, she's moaning about the sodas, because obviously the sodas that are in the fridge or refrigerators, as my fellow Americans like to say. In the UK, we say fridge. In America, they say refrigerator. Why would you use the whole freaking word though? That's just long. Fridge, refrigerator. You said me refrigerator. How many? What's that? 3 syllables? What's wrong with you Americans? Just say fridge, man. Come on. And then you say cooler as well. Or is it fridge freezer? You guys say? I don't know. Anyway. Sorry. Let me get back in. Unagi. Hashtag Roskella. Right. So boom bam. So the sodas that are in the fridge right now, those sodas are for Michael. Michael takes them when he goes to work. Tammy's obviously got upset that Amy is leave them in the house. So therefore she's accusing Amy and saying, no, you only want them in the house pretty much because you want them to. It's not because of Michael, because you want them to. And now here's the thing though. The fact is this, Tammy should only be focused on making sure that she stays on task on her own accord. But I will say this though. Michael should be on a diet too anyway. So really and truly in this scenario, Tammy isn't right, but it would be right for them to have no sodas in the house completely, because Michael could also benefit without having them. And at the same time though, you know, why have something in there that may potentially trigger you? It is early on, but this is why it's easy to diet when you live in your own, okay? Or you live in a household where food is the way you need it to be, you know? Honestly, because I know so many people that struggle to diet because they live in a household where it's physically impossible, or at least that's how it feels. And I can say the same thing because even though I've never been fat or overweight per se, I remember though as a child, you know, I grew up in a household where all the food that we had was literally just, you know, just tinned food that wasn't healthy, you know, like tinned ham, you know, and live in a house where literally mom would go shopping, you come back, and you know which part of the kitchen was the most filled up part? It was always the fridge and the sweet cupboard. Why? Because the fridge had all the flipping party snacks that are for parties, but they were there for meals, you know? And then you go into the cupboard with biscuits after biscuits, crisps after crisps. And I used to be like, rah! At first as a kid, that was fun. But then obviously as I got older and I started taking my sports seriously, and I knew I needed to eat better if I wanted to really take sports to a serious level. Because I mean, I was trying to go professional football, what can I say? But at that point, I had to stop eating at home. You know what I mean? And then I then had to prioritize. And this is why I like to say that healthy eating, it can be cheap. Because I then had to use my school meal money to literally be my actual money for my whole meals for the whole day, pretty much. You know what I mean? Because, yeah. But anyway, that's yeah, man, don't worry about that. Let's proceed anyway. Ah, dear Lord, hey. But all I'm saying is that I can relate to living in a household where there's so much food in front of you that is enabling. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, though, I took control. You know, I prioritized and took control because I knew as a teenage boy I wasn't going to have to leave the house, so I had to take control of my own accord. Which means that people can't do that. You know, people act like as if they can't do that, and I get it. An addiction is an addiction. Don't get me wrong, I understand it. But what I'm saying is that, like, take away the addiction, you have the tools to do what's need to be done, and the tool is very simple. It is something that I like to call priorities. A priority. I mean, how do you prioritize yourself? You know what I'm saying? But the matter of fact is, though, in this situation right here, Tammy's living with Amy, so obviously it is what it is. But at the same time, though, like I said, Michael could use on going on that diet too. So realistically, Michael should have gone on the diet too. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get it. And actually, just to add on to that too, I'm going on rants today, aren't I? And just to add on to that too, look at Amy now. Amy lost weight, but then she gave birth. She's gained weight pretty much since giving birth. She's now pregnant again, and she's probably gaining weight at this moment in time, probably. Okay, but look at it this way: if Amy was in a relationship with someone that would support her more, I'm not saying he support, but he would support her more by also kind of like, you know, changing his food and whatnot. To be fair, Amy may have been a whole lot slimmer than. So to be fair, I give Amy massive credit for being able to lose the weight she lost in the first place anyway, knowing that she lived with this guy. I'm not saying it's his fault, but I'm saying I'm giving her credit where credit's due. But at the same time, though, that credit is only limited because she started reversing it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Promise me that you won't cheat on this diet behind my back.
And you can't be telling me to go get you some cake and ice cream all the damn time.
Why you gotta cuss? I predict that we're gonna get some healthy options in the house, but Amy and Michael are gonna slip away, and I'm nervous that Amy's gonna eat things she shouldn't be eating. But yeah, I'm stuck in the house and I can't eat it. Okay.
You know, I'll tell you what though, Tammy done such a great job at playing big sister in season 1, you know? Everything that she said was, I'm worried that Amy's gonna do this. I'm worried that Amy's gonna do that. I'm worried. But it was never about her saying that she was worried about herself. It was always, I'm worried about Amy. You see the projection right here? Tam. Lord.
Some of the things I have been doing right is giving up a lot of foods that I'd rather be eating, and I'm trying to be more active. For me, cleaning the house is exercise because it's me actually moving. Yes, I'm sitting down in a chair, but
Yo, come on, man. You're doing a madness. I love it. I love it. You know what? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
chair, but it's more movement than I've done in a long time.
Yes, I'm sitting down in the chair, but it's more movement than I've done in a long time. Sitting in the chair isn't necessarily a movement, but okay, cool, whatever. I mean, listen, the fact is, if her mobility was really, really bad, I'd be like, okay, cool. Minimum movements like that, I can give credit to. But her mobility, surprisingly, but to be honest with you, based on her size, she still has a decent amount of mobility. Do you know what I mean? More than she should have, you know, give or take. It really depends, right, on the person. But she has that. The only thing is she complains and fakes it a lot of the time. Because let's be honest, when she wants to walk somewhere, she walks somewhere. When she wants to get something, she will get there. That's when she wants to. But when she has to, it's a big no-no. But the fact is, though, it's quite interesting, though, that she talks about doing all these things and she hasn't done none of these things in a while. So that means Amy and Michael have been cooking for her. They've been cleaning after her. You know what I mean? They obviously bathe her. Like, you know what I mean? They clean up after her. Come on now. Like, bear this in mind. Tammy is now at a heavier weight than she was back then. I mean, obviously, yes, she lost 115 pounds, but come on, man, let's be realistic real quick. That 115 pounds that she lost, she's put it back on. I'll be very surprised if she hasn't. Not because, you know, I have this evil intent against her, but that's just the reality of what she has shown us over the years, if you dig what I'm saying, right? So Imagine that now. Look at it this way. We've seen Amy's house. We've seen how messy it is before Gage. After Gage came into the big jar, season 3, we were then introduced to how messy the house was again. The house was so messy, there was bugs everywhere. Okay, let's not forget that. Now she's expecting, but now she's moved, and we're hoping that she's keeping home even more tidier. But she's got Gage, she's got a second baby on the way, and if Tammy does allegedly move back in, that house ain't ever gonna be clean again. Because how Amy gonna be able to be a mother to her 2 kids and also her big sister? Because Amy is the mother, right, of Tammy. That's the grand scheme of things. Because, but come on, do you know what though? I do wonder who's been keeping Tammy's home clean this whole time though. Because Tammy's home has always been more tidy than Amy's, isn't it? It's quite interesting to be fair. Oh, I didn't even think of that, you know. Damn, this is just getting more weirder and weirder, more funky and funky. But either way though, moving around in a chair, ladies and gentlemen, is a form of exercise. You should try it yourself, okay? But obviously on a serious note, people that have less mobility, little movements like that would be actually quite grateful to be fair with you. But for Tammy Slaton though, man, go bye.
So our next round, we're gonna go out to the side. Good. 1. Feeling burn now?
Yeah, it's really hard.
2 more. There you go. Good.
Meanwhile, Amy's actually at the gym, actually doing some exercise. And the thing is, I have to really go in hard on Tammy, because if you're looking at the first episode of season 1, she avoided the walk in the park. You're looking at this episode, she's avoided going into the swimming pool. And then now she's also pretty much avoided going to the gym. That's the grand scheme of things. I'm not saying going to the gym would have been a good idea. Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? Because that probably may have not been a great idea, give or take. Actually, it would have been a good idea, because there was the guy from 90 Day Fiance, man. I can't wait for that episode to come out though. The Gino and Jasmine to come out on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl ruined it for us this Sunday. Anyway, what show was it? 600 Pound Life. That's there was the guy who went to the gym and he sat down, but he was still doing movements while sitting down. To be fair, and I think there's been numerous people to do that. So to be fair with you, Tammy could have probably attempted to go to the gym and attempted something, but no, she hasn't attempted none of the things. And all she's done is try to throw Amy under the bus by saying Amy's gonna fail, Amy's gonna do this, Micah's gonna do that, Amy and Micah leave me behind. Oh, they're going and doing their own thing. And then she wants to sit there at home on a freaking chair saying, come on now, man, makes sense out of no sense. You know what I mean? Like everything that Amy has been succeeding doing, the walking, the swimming, and going to the gym, Tammy could have done them as well. Obviously not as much, but she could have done a little bit of them. Even if it was like 5 minutes, for goodness sake. I don't know.
Off on my vegetables, but Amy wants to fix stuff I don't like.
I try to eat really healthy. Tammy, on the other hand, wants to eat stuff like barbecue wraps and mozzarella sticks and pizza fries.
I had 2 days where I slipped up. I wanted some wings. It's very easy to slip back into old habits.
Tammy, didn't you say that Amy was the one that was going to slip up? Interesting.
I'm a little disgusted with myself. Yesterday, I had a little bit of ice cream. No, I know it's bad. I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying.
So, yeah, that's all I needed to say. That was attractive.
Well, there was no need for the burp, was there? There was no need for it at all, but it came. It's interesting because, you know, Amy was recording that she's doing reasonably well. Tammy's recording that she's had a few little slip-ups. But you know what, though? Tammy's slip-ups are quite comical. Quite iconic, shall I say? Purely because her little slip-ups are literally like an extra 10, 20, 30 pounds. I don't think Tammy knows what a slip-up is, to be honest with you. I think from now on, listen, I'm literally gonna start, if I remember, because my memory is a bit dodgy sometimes, but if I remember, each time Tammy says slip up, I'm just going to say iconic. Hashtag iconics, who are now called inspirations, yes. Sorry, if you're a wrestling fan, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's proceed.
I can't do this.
Makes sense, it blew my mind. When I watch Amy dance, it blew my mind.
Sorry, man. You just gotta love Michael, man. You just gotta love Michael. Listen, I'm not taking a piss, okay? I just like the way you said it. But listen, I gotta do an impression because I know some people can be like, oh, why are you doing that? No. Come on, man. Listen, sometimes it's good to impersonate people, but I like the way Michael was just like, what you tell me? Wait, what your name? He dance like that. You know, I forgot what he said. Is that what he said? I don't know, man. Word for word, but yeah, it was kind of like, it was cute. It was cute to a certain degree, though, because it was like watching. Just it's like he hasn't seen a dance before, you know what I mean? I found that quite cute and quite adorable, to be fair, you know. What's your name? You dance? Yeah. What's your name? You dance? Yeah. I quite like that. You know what Michael was asking for later on that evening, right? He was like, Amy, why don't you do a strip dance with me, baby? Yeah. Give me a little strip dance. How about I buy a pole where there's a little bit of pole dancing? You know, big girls can pole dance too, right? Yes. A lot of you people watching this right now saying, yo, Mads, what you doing? Don't be giving us visions. What you doing? Stop it. No, allow it, please. Okay, we're trying to eat our food now. Please behave yourself. But listen, man, Michael was loving his woman. Come on, I'm jealous.
Tammy gave up way too soon, which is usually normal for her. That was harder than I thought. I'm dog tired.
Yeah, we saw Tammy giving up. We saw her giving up, you know what I mean? And it is a shame, but it's also a shame that Amy knows. Amy knew that she was going to give up.
I want to be able to push her more, but I feel like if I said something to Tammy, she's just going to get mad and it's going to start a fight. We got to do something.
I agree.
You know, this is a question for everyone here right now, please. Can somebody please tell me, what do you think makes Amy want to stay? Because everybody has a breaking point. A lot of the time, Amy spends a lot of time asking the question, when is Tammy's next rock bottom? It's always the question of Tammy's rock bottom. But what about the question of where is Amy's breaking point? Because everybody has one. Is her breaking point lower than Tammy's rock bottom? Because Amy needs to get to that point where she can be like, you know what, Amy? Amy needs to get to that point where she's like, you know what, Tammy? You're on your own. But when is that going to happen? Please. Let me know in the comment section, please.
How am I supposed to get through that with you standing there? Amy, why do you do this every time?
She make you bitch at me more.
You damn straight. Pay attention, what the hell you doing?
Sometimes when Tammy's yelling at me, it's kind of hard because all I'm doing is trying to help her.
Well, if you pay more attention, I wouldn't be.
It's hard to help somebody who's yelling at you. She should be thankful for everything I do.
And this is why I asked the simple question of, where is Amy's... What was it again? Not rock bottom. Last straw. That wasn't it, but I forgot what it was now. But yeah, where is Amy's last straw? You know what I mean? Because come on now. Come on, Amy. Where's your backbone, girl? We all know you got one.
She treats me like I'm a dog. She yells at me constantly. Sometimes you just help her and all she wants to do is gripe at you. Sometimes...
Yeah, I'm just pausing at this moment in time just to, for copyright purposes. Break the video down a little bit.
Sometimes it gets on my nerves when I just sit down and you ask me to do a bunch of things. Why don't you say, can you give me a soda and my phone? And one time, instead of having me get back up...
Why you got an attitude with me?
I'm just saying.
Lose the attitude.
Well, it's like every time I turn around, you want something.
Whatever, Amy.
How much longer is Amy going to keep going for the same BS with Tammy? How much longer?
Whatever, Amy.
You say you want to get off that walker?
Okay, shut up. I'll do it when I'm ready. About to hurt your dang mouth. I try so hard not to freaking fight with you, but you keep digging in.
You're the one digging in.
How? I'm trying to let go, and you bring it up. Amy's pushing me to get off my walker. I don't think she has any sympathy for me. I am.
That one hurt. That one hurt. I don't think she has any sympathy for me. Amy's the only one that has sympathy for you. On a consistent basis. Tammy just knows how to get underneath the skin of everybody, doesn't she?
It's not that I'm trying to be a bitch.
Yes, you
know
are.
how hurting I am too. You don't care that other people are hurting. If it ain't for you or about you, you throw a little hissy fit. I think she does need the walker, but sometimes I feel like she's using me. And there's only so much one person can take.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. But guess what, Amy? 3 years old, you're still in the same goddamn position, man. And so is the whole family too. So I'm talking about. Come on. I mean, listen, I want to show you something real quick before I even proceed. Look at this. You see the expression that she has on her face right now? This is the expression of someone that is ready to blow the F up, man. Someone that's ready to just cause havoc. Like, she's vexed. She's ready to just... I don't blame her, man. Come on, you can just... I actually don't know who bothers me more. Is it Tammy that bothers me more because she knows how to get underneath the skin of the audience as well as her own siblings? Or is it Amy that bothers me more because she's the one that still puts up with it? That doesn't walk away, that doesn't do what a lot of us is thinking, and that is just walk away and give her tough love. Not everyone's cup of tea, but everybody has a last straw. I still can't remember what I said before. Everybody has that. Everybody. But Amy is ignoring hers. Amy's even got a little boy now, and she still didn't get to that point. Just because Amy can sometimes have a hissy fit back at Tammy, it doesn't mean Amy has got there yet. It's Amy's actions that will show everything. What people say is what people say, but people's actions is where it really matters. Amy hasn't really ever taken the action to show it. I mean, you could say arguably in season 3, Amy started taking action by getting the nanny involved, okay? Which is a good, I keep saying nanny, by getting the nurse involved. Okay, cool. So that was a part of it, okay? But the fact is this though, that was Amy trying to be polite, saying, I'm gonna get you some support. That's not how I believe she should go about it. She should be like, listen, I ain't gonna support you no more. I got a kid, I'm out, boom, bam. Simple as that. Let Tammy know that I'm gone. Not let her know that, oh, I'm not gone. I'm just giving you more. We're just gonna hire someone to help you every other day, but I'm still here. You see that? It's that point there, that point right there, where Tammy's like, but yeah, Amy's still here though. And then that's how we've got to where we are now when we hear about the rumor that Amy has come out to say that Tammy can move in with her when she comes out. Amy shouldn't be giving Tammy that option. She should have never done it in the first place. Now she got engaged, definitely shouldn't be doing it. But now she's got another born coming, definitely shouldn't do it. And let's not forget, I said Amy looks after 3 people, right? She'd be looking after 3 people, 3 babies. You know, we would be Gage, the newborn, and Tammy. But let's be honest, she'll be looking after Michael too. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, she'll be looking after Michael too. Michael's a kid too, you know what I mean? I like watching Tammy dance. I mean Amy, no. I like when Amy. My God. Man got the freaky deaky, you know what I'm saying? That night, hey, Amy gave him that striptease, you know what I'm saying? She gave him that oop.
She does need the walker, but there's only so much one person can take. I'm just not your slave. I do not have to do
I'm not trying to
everything
make you my slave.
Well, obviously you are because
No,
you're not
I'm not.
trying.
Just shut up and move on. Okay, I'm done with
You're
this.
not trying at all.
Hallelujah. Technically, if I reacted this when this first came out, I would have said hallelujah. Come on, you're letting her know. But let's be honest, that argument was pretty much pointless, wasn't it? Pretty much pointless. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm just a very weird person. Yeah. Pretty much doing that.
You or about you, you throw a little hissy fit. If I don't do what you want to do,
Sure.
right then and there, you get an attitude. It's always about you.
It is never about
it's all
me.
about you.
Yo, I gotta find out when Tammy was born, you know. Tammy's giving me flipping Capricorn vibes, you know what I'm saying? Pure narcissist. Capricorns are gonna cancel me one day, man.
I'm tired of the way you're acting. It's harder on me to get up and do things for myself, and you know it is.
Yeah, but it's hard on me too, Tammy. I mean, I know you're hurting. I'm hurting too, Tammy. Sometimes she don't validate that the fact that I'm in pain too. She thinks she knows more. Yes, you are fatter than me, but my pain can be just as big as yours.
Facts upon facts. There are so many gems in this episode though, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. This episode has been one hell of a freaking, not even a roller coaster, it's just been very intense, shall I say. Very, very intense.
You don't
know how I
have the
felt when
same
I was
struggle
wrong.
I do.
Yeah, but you were my size back when. You know you hurt back when.
Amy, I ain't been your size since I was freaking 12.
But think about it. You were hurting back then too, Tammy.
Just shut up and leave it. I think since Amy's gotten married, she's more of a bitch.
She came in with a marriage statement. She came in with the marriage one. She came in with the marriage. Listen, first and foremost, okay. I liked what Amy was doing there. She was talking about you know how you was my size before, and you know what the pain is. So don't tell me that I don't know the pain. So I like what she was doing there. But the way Tammy just completely the marriage. See what I mean? The division was there already. The division was there off the back. The marriage was step number one. Well, to be fair, there was probably so many other steps that got Tammy to where she is now in terms of just her darkness inside of her. But based on what we're witnessing, the marriage was step. To be fair, her dating market to begin with would have been step number one of Tammy feeling like she's being pushed out. Then the marriage came in. Step number two, feeling like she's getting pushed out. Gage comes along. Step number three, feeling like she's getting pushed out even more. The move. Step number four. The new baby. Step number 5. And then if we track back years before and other things that we do know, mother not being around. Initially, we could say that's step number 1. Grandma passed away at age of 10 and 11. Arguably, we could say that's step number 2. That's 7 steps right there, ladies and gentlemen, that have been the anchor or the core or the drive behind Tammy's evolution. Tammy's dark mind. Tammy's mind to want to potentially sabotage her own sister, so therefore she's not losing someone else, because it feels to me as if she's afraid that she's always losing everybody. But the fact is though, life isn't about being afraid to lose people. Life is about learning to love yourself and your own company. The moment that you can love yourself and love your own company and you can be alone is the moment that you can that's the moment that you can really and truly love someone else to your best abilities. A lot of people get into relationships, without completely loving themselves. A lot of people get in relationships because they feel like they need someone else to love them just so they can love themselves, which is freaking insanely false. Loving ourselves is the most powerful thing that we could ever do to ourselves. Because believing the moment that you can love yourself is the moment that you become fearless, limitless, literally anything. You see what I'm saying? But the fact is, Tammy doesn't see it. She doesn't see that the answer's within herself, not within everyone else separating away from her. That's not her fault. And to be fair, the mother having other siblings with other men probably didn't help. Chris and Amanda. You know what I mean? They have their own dad. Then Misty has her own dad. Maybe that as well, with the introduction of new dads coming into the picture. Losing her own dad. So there's so many elements of where she's lost certain things and she feels like everyone's just running away from her. But what she doesn't realize is that it's not about other people running away from you. It's about you building your own character of who you want to be and just letting it shine. And then attracting the people in your life that maybe won't make you feel like that. But some of these people haven't done this intentionally. Amy hasn't done this intentionally. You know what I'm saying? Her grandma passed away, wasn't intentional. I believe it was her father that passed away. That wasn't intentional. You know what I'm saying? But that's how she sees it. I should get paid to make these type of videos, man. I'm giving you guys life lessons and everything, man. Why go see a therapist when you got me? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start DMing you guys. If you need therapy, guys, DM me. $100 an hour, okay? No, $100 per question. Yeah.
Since she's taking care of Michael, she's got more responsibilities.
But that's not my fault. Sometimes I feel like a victim. I wish I was able to live on my own. I want to be free.
You don't understand. Yes, you are big. Yes, you have problems too. But they're not the same as my problems.
Problem is, Tammy's been saying that for a good while now. But she's done nothing. Absolutely nothing to try and fix her problems. Amy, on the other hand, has tried to fix her problems. Lost a little bit of weight, had her baby. Then had another baby. Obviously, that was something that Amy wanted for herself, you know what I mean? Amanda done the same thing, lost a little bit of weight, had surgery, whatnot. Chrissy's done the same thing, lost a little bit of weight, had surgery, you know. Everyone else in the family is doing something about their own past. Everyone in the family is doing something to better themselves. Tammy, on the other hand, just keeps complaining about it. Tammy, the question is, when are you going to start taking action? That is the killer question. Just moan. Narcissist. She's a Capricorn. I'm just digging that hole. I'm digging that hole.
Yes, you are big. Yes, you have problems too. but they're not the same as my problem. Get up and do more for myself. Try being my size, Amy. You don't know how it is.
To be honest with you, I'm starting to believe that this has nothing to do with her size. Her size is just her projection. Her size is just her cover-up. You know what I mean? It's a cover-up of what's really going on. The size isn't it. When she's talking about, you know, try and be in my size, I don't think she's referencing to her size. I mean, obviously a little bit is referencing to her size because her size isn't the best of sizes, but she's definitely talking about something so much more darker, so much more, you know. But the fact is, though, the question is this, though. This is something that we'll never know, but before Micah came into the picture, was Tammy more open with Amy in the past? Arguably, we could say no, because she still was able to get to the size that she got to now. So the question is, though, it seems to me as if Tammy needs to find someone that she can be completely transparent with. Let it all out. Stop giving us this scripted nonsense. You know, talking about her weight, this, weight, that. The weight is in the core of the problem. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's become one of the cores. It's not the main one. Because she's been saying that same thing for 3 seasons now. That's telling me something. That's telling me that she's screaming something else. But just because I pick up on that, it doesn't mean that I have sympathy for her. Because again, she hasn't been doing anything to try and fix it.
Pushing me like you are is not helping. It's not. The little nitpick words you say, get off your walker, do this, you can do that. It's not helping. It's just frustrating me more. Like, it's not helping. It's just frustrating me more. Like that, you rolling your eyes. It's not helping.
Wow, man, the last bit of this episode is just too much, man. I'm pausing, not even because of copyright, but I got so many things to say. But even that part of it alone, she used the word nitpick. You know, she says nitpick, and then she talks about the walker, and then she references the rolling the eyes. She's obviously referencing that you keep telling me to do all these things, and then when I don't do them, all you do is just roll your eyes. It's like she's saying that all I am is a disappointment. All you do is pick on the things that I do that make me a disappointment. Me needing a walker, disappointment. You rolling your eyes, disappointment. She wasn't able to do a lot of the things, disappointment. That is what it could be, disappointment. She doesn't like the fact that people make her feel like she's a disappointment, that like she's a burden. Maybe that's how she's felt her whole life from the very get-go. Maybe from the very get-go, you know, not having mom and only having certain role models and certain roles in her life. Maybe those roles are the ones that made her get to the stage where she's at, where she's like, she just feels like she's a walking disappointment. Because again, she's the only one in the family that hasn't succeeded in necessarily having a relationship, having a family, losing weight. Disappointment is definitely one of those key elements of why Tammy is so dark inside of her mind. We can talk about addiction all we want. We can talk about, you know, food being the best friend, being the comfort zone. But at the end of the day, those things are things that we can talk about because we know they're there. But the bigger problem is what triggers them all. One of the reasons could be disappointment. Going back to season 1 is so refreshing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I should charge to upload this episode. This episode is way too insightful, man. What the hell, man? You guys owe me.
There's stuff you can do.
I'm not saying
You just
that.
don't want to do it. Grow the up.
You first.
Bitch, I've been grown. I pay my bills. My bills are paid.
I would have hated to be the camera person at that moment in time.
You ain't gonna be able to make it on your own, Tammy.
They blame me for everything and they don't think that anything they're doing is wrong.
Whew. I mean, the good thing is they go to see a therapist in the next episode. That's the good thing. But damn. That was madness. That episode was legit moving mad. Not gonna lie to you, but I feel like I've said a lot here, so I'm gonna leave it there. You know what I mean? Until next time, pretty much. But I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what you lovely people got to say in the comment section. You know what I mean? And yeah, we'll get down to it. But with that being said, like, subscribe, and peace.